Hey everyone, it's Lindsay from My Crafty Plans. Today I have out my MakseLife Quarterly companion notebooks, and I thought it would be fun to share with you how I break down my monthly goals into my weekly action items using my quarterly companion notebooks. So this has been such a super helpful system for me so far this year, and I know you've seen this before in my plan as I go, as I use this throughout the week, but since for those functional plan with me's, I've mostly been focusing on my agenda with just little check-ins in my MakseLife, I thought I would do a dedicated video where I broke down my goals. So we are going into the week of February 14th here. So I will be breaking down my February goals, which if you haven't seen that video, it will be linked up in the cards and it's also linked down in the description below. You can check that out. So I will be breaking down those goals for the week ahead, keeping in mind my calendar obligations and all that kind of stuff, which I love to keep at the forefront of my mind. So this is actually the annual goals notebook where I did my goals for the whole year. So I don't actually need this one today. Just have that popped out to the side just in case we need to reference it. But this is the quarterly companion notebook that I am currently working with. It's the one that says just begin. These are undated, so you can start them anytime, but this is already been set up for my February goals, and I've done, 2 weeks of action items in here so far, and we will be setting up for the week ahead. So it is currently Friday, February 11th, and which is usually when I set up my MakseLife, I like to do my pre-planning for the week on the Friday before it happens because the kids are all in school, so I have the house all empty and quiet, and I just like to spend a little time setting up. So the first thing that I do when I go to set up my weekly action items is actually just look at my action items for the week ahead. Over here in the corner, I do have my functional planner out. Right now I have it open to the calendar spread, which is helpful just to see like what I have going on for the week ahead, like in case I have any appointments or any major school closures or vacations or anything like that I know about in advance. Obviously the school schedule this year has been a little bit crazy, so changing pretty much a lot. And then, so the first thing that I'm actually gonna do is just check a few things off here that I've already gotten done. Just make a mental note of the things I still wanna get done for this week, and then reflect a little bit more. I usually do a reflection session on Wednesday as well, and then just kind of keep it going throughout the week if there's anything I think of. So what I want to do is just take a look at this stuff and just mark some things and just make some notes on my reflections, and then we will go ahead and set up my weekly actions. So that's usually what I start with. So I did my pre-planning and time blocking. I had 2 calendar sessions last week, which went really well. We have a basic idea of our weekend plans, and I did my party check. Did not do any yoga this week, and I have this all done, and I did my LinkedIn, which was like my really big goal for the week. I did this, and that is like, didn't really happen. This we decided to move. That was like scheduling a date night. I don't know how well you can see this. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit more. But I did text all of the people that I needed to text, and this is still on my list to do for today. This is done, and this one is moved by virtue of it not being available yet. And I didn't do any yoga. So what's not working this week? I just like totally spaced on yoga. And anything else that's not working? Oh, the alarm situation. One of my goals for the month is to like wake up with an alarm a certain number of times per week, and it really is not going well. So what is working? Wins, I got the LinkedIn stuff all done, which I had been. Do you ever have one of those things that like you just put it off and procrastinate doing it, and you don't want to do it and you don't want to do it, and then you do it and it takes 5 minutes, which totally ended up being a thing like that. So yeah, just one of those things, right? Like you just build it up in your mind, the calendar sessions are still going really, really well. I'm finding that very helpful. So that is where I like schedule a block of time on a specific day to handle a bunch of like life admin and phone calls and that kind of stuff all at once. And it's been super helpful because I am a person who puts off being on the phone, especially. Okay. The other thing that is working is one thing that was like really great is that this week I told like a work person about a work related goal of mine, and like they were able to offer support in that and just like now they know about it, so it's not like I can back out of it because it's like a goal that makes me nervous, if you will. And they're also just being really helpful with it. So that is, I think, it's like kind of a win, but it's also something that's really working. Like, you know, if you have someone who can help you out with something, tell them about it. Help yourself boost yourself, if that makes sense. So, and just also like continued flexibility. We did have like one random school closure day this week because of like a plumbing problem. It's just like, you know, it's things on top of things on top of things. Some adjustments for next week. I'm gonna make sure I put my yoga back in the sidebar. I want to do that. Again, I didn't like not having it in my sidebar this past week, so I'm definitely gonna do that. But I think that's it for reflections. I don't make like a huge whole thing of this. That's about how long it takes me. I just want to, you know, kind of check in on how things are going. So then we are on to the next week, which this is week 7 of Moxie Living, if you will. And it is the week of February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day to the 20th. Okay, so I am going to set up my reflections page first because that is what I always do. I like having my reflections set up at the beginning of the week. I have not picked out my like colors or stickers or anything for the week ahead in my functional planner, but it's going to be a Valentine's Day themed spread. So I'm just going to go with this pen and I'm just going to do it the same way I did last week and letter out reflections, if I can remember how to spell it, which I'm gonna have to stop talking because I can't spell and talk at the same time. Okay, so we will go with that for reflections, and then I'm just gonna draw my same boxes in and just set this up the same way I have been. It's really easy, it's really fast. This whole thing, I mean, I'll see how it does with filming, but this whole thing usually takes me like 10 minutes or less when I do it, you know, just for myself. So it's really not like a very long time to do. It's just, and I've been just really loving it. It helps me, I like to say the Moxie Life helps me stay focused on what I want from my life while I'm still able to get done all of the things that need to get done. Because like there's plenty of stuff that needs to get done that is like super uneven. I usually do try and make them even boxes, but that's fine. And then yeah, it helps me focus on the big picture while still not ignoring like all of the day-to-day things that get done. Because, you know, I have 3 kids and a husband and a house, and there's a lot of just admin and momming that needs to be taken care of. That's not like, it's not building towards my goals. It's not building towards anything that I want out of life. It just absolutely has to get done. And it's like, you know, part of my job as the mom and as the non-primary breadwinner of the family is to take care of it. And I don't have a problem with that. But like, you know, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it is my higher calling or reflective of like the long-term plans of my life or anything like that. You know, sometimes there's just paperwork that needs to get done. So that is good for reflections. So now what we can do is take a look at the weekly action items. Okay, so I'm gonna do this the same way I did last week, and that is go one category at a time, kind of like last week I started with work because that's what I really wanted to focus on, but I got everything I needed to get done. So I'm actually just gonna go kind of easiest to hardest, I think, and like lowest hanging fruit is what I mean by easiest. And that is, I'm gonna start with the health and wellness because I have a doctor's appointment this week. And so it's just like right now it's at the forefront of my mind. And then after that, I'm gonna do the fun and recreation because we are having a family birthday party this week. So that is what I'm gonna start with. So first of all, I have a doctor's appointment. So I don't know about you, but that is not the right color. Is it the right color? I keep all of my MakseLife colors like together in a thing, but even with that, they somehow keep getting mixed up. And I just don't know. I also have this one, but I feel like this one's really dark. I don't know. I'm just gonna use that for right now. I feel like there are colors in here that are not the right colors. I must have put pens back in here that are wrong. So anyway, okay, that was a little detour into my chaos color coding brain. So I do have an OB appointment. Then I also always have my teeth routine, which I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep this on my habits, like my daily habits, because I've honestly done this every single day of the year so far. And I just don't know that it's serving any purpose still being on a thing I check off every day. It's always nice to have something to check off, but in March, maybe I will try taking it out of my daily habits and seeing if I still do it. And then if I slow down on it because I'm not checking it off, picking it back up in April. Because I don't want to stop doing it because it's obviously really important to my dental health. And if you are not familiar, I have a lot of problems with my teeth. But I don't know that it needs to take up space in my planner every single day. So anyway, that's just something to think about. These are my monthly goals, and for health and wellness, the only other thing I have in here is cycle tracking, and it is not the time of the month for that. So I am not going to worry about anything else. So that is everything going on in health and wellness. So let's move over to fun and recreation. So I just have my monthly calendar over here, and that is what I was looking at to see, what's on my schedule for this week, in terms of actual appointments, which is just why I started with that category. So then in fun and recreation, we have a family party. So I'm gonna do this a little bit differently because this is, there's a couple of things that I need to mark out. So I'm gonna highlight this and I'm just gonna write family party. And then I am going to break this down into a couple of subcategories. So it's just going to be, so got to take care of the food, the house, decorations, that kind of stuff. We have this, I don't know if it's a tradition. We started it last year where you got this really decorated birthday chair, and the kids were so obsessed with that. So we'll probably do that again this year because my oldest is still talking about it from last year. So you gotta make the birthday chair. Apparently that's a thing we do now. And then I'm just gonna write enjoy for the last one because this is the fun and recreation category. So gotta have some fun. But that also means we actually already have weekend plans. So usually, as per my weekly goals, it's schedule some fun. We've actually already got this done for the week. We have our plans for the weekend because we are having this family party. So I don't have to worry about actual weekend plans because we already have them. So I'm not going to put that in. I'm not going to add extra stuff to my list. But I do want to keep, every week when I look at my calendar session for the week, which we will get to in the personal thing, I do want to check in on just general fun plans. So and then the last thing that I do want to put also is that I want to try and schedule a date night not for this week, but for the week after this. So I'm going to put to schedule a date for next week. And it's honestly, it's 2 weeks from now in actual time, but it's 1 week now from when this planner becomes the current week. So anyway, and then what I did last week is anything that I wanted to tackle during my calendar sessions, which is just a dedicated time block to scheduling, which I think I probably already said, I highlight in yellow, which is the personal color, because that's where that goal is the calendar session stuff is in my personal category. So that is how I'm going to mark that. And then that is everything for that category. Before I do personal, I'm going to swing over to spiritual and personal growth because last week I did not do any yoga, even though I had on my list to do it. So I am going to go ahead and let me just see what my monthly goals were around that anyways. So I just said try yoga and other de-stressing outlets. Continue to set boundaries around family time, which honestly I've been doing just gold star with that. So it's been really, really, really helpful to having positive interactions with my parents as well. And then journaling and art journaling practice. Okay, so I have one, I'm going to put down, I want to do yoga twice this week again. And then I've been doing the MakseLife daily affirmations. I have a page set up in my art journal for that. And then I think I would like to try something else in my art journal this week as that. So I'm going to put yoga times 2. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that everybody goes to school all the days of the week that they are supposed to be in school this week, which again, like, I think has happened like maybe twice the entire school year so far. But you know, a person can dream. And then what, I don't even remember what I just said. Oh, the daily affirmations page. And then I'm gonna just say art journal something. I actually I have this idea, and I even saved a page for it with like a watercolors thing. I'm not gonna fully commit to that because, but I'm gonna do something in my art journal. Okay, so then other easy categories, I'm just gonna take a look at financial really quick. So basically, I was hoping to get some tax stuff done last week, but the documents weren't ready, and they're actually not gonna be ready until February 26th. So I can't do that. It's gonna have to be the week after this. And I don't think I have anything else to do for that. So I'm just gonna basically the ongoing thing has just been collecting tax documents as they come in. This green zig is just become the bane of my existence. It is so juicy, and I don't know why. I'm just gonna say continue collecting. So that is that for financial. And then I'm going to swing down to physical environment. Again, like I said, I'm just kind of circling around. I don't know, just a lot of these are really easy. My goals for this month are pretty uneven, right? So if you take a look at them, my goals for February, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but I have like a focus on certain categories versus other categories, which makes it really easy to break them down when, like, you know, if I have like literally 2 things here, one of which is already done and one of which I can't do yet. So don't really have that much going on in financial this month, but that's totally fine. Honestly, it's not a big focus for me this year, and I don't feel the need to put a bunch of stuff in here that's like working towards nothing. Like, I'm trying to just, you know, work smarter towards a better life, not just have things to check off, if that makes sense. Okay, so I did this last week actually, and I done this, and I'm doing it now, so we're good. Okay, we will circle back to that, and anyway, oh boy. Okay, I can't. Okay, I'm a little out of it today. Sorry about that. Okay, so what are we doing? So this week, again, the only thing I have in my physical environment here is toy sort. And then I actually think the other thing that I want to do is the downstairs dryer, the basement dryer, there's just like a bunch of lint like in it, and it's like not coming out. So I think I'm just gonna try and like vacuum it out really quick. Which obviously this has nothing to do with like anything I wrote here, but it does like serve the higher purpose of the year, if that makes sense, of like taking care of stuff like that around the house. And I just noticed it last week yesterday while I was doing laundry down there, and I was like, okay, you know what, let's maybe not light our basement on fire. That would be fantastic. Okay, so then under family and relationships, I put the date night down here. Whoops. And I didn't mean to do that. I meant to put it, well, whatever. It's like both. So I'm just gonna say, like, it's fun, but it's also part of the family. Alrighty. Because I have it under these goals. So I will just acknowledge that it probably should have been in the other category, but I'm not like whiting it out or anything like that. Okay. And then I also think as part of that, like, I guess it really, again, straddling this and the spiritual and learning, if you will. I'm also not for this week, but I'm going to say to schedule a massage. It doesn't have to be for this week. It probably won't be because like stuff has to be booked kind of out. And then the other thing is I had make plans with a friend, and I like texted a bunch of people last week. And so I think maybe I will try and like schedule something with a friend. Again, it doesn't have to be scheduled in this week, but I want to schedule it this week, even if it's for a different week, if that makes sense. Sure like what it's gonna be, but yeah. And then so those are both scheduling things. This one will definitely be in a calendar session. This one I don't think needs to be in a calendar session specifically. That's just like texting with friends, so I don't need that to be that. Okay, so then in terms of work, here we go. All right, I got my LinkedIn thing done, and it's done, and I'm really, really happy with that. So I have a blog going up midweek. And then I think I'll set up a Twitter this week. It's something that's going to take like 2 seconds to do, and I just really don't want to do it, but I should. So, you know, like I don't want to do it, but like it serves like my higher goals, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to put that on there. I think that's it. I might write something else this week, but I'm not 100% sure yet, so I'm not going to put that in my goals. If I do, I'll just add it in later. And then I think that's it for work. Again, we are doing really good. Yeah. So the last thing I have to do is the personal section. So then what we have here is, I'm going to circle back to the alarm in a second, because again, that is something that's like not working whatsoever. And so we have, in terms of regular things, where's my yellow? So we've got weekly pre-planning with time blocking. Again, that's been going super, super well. I'm going to do a calendar session. Last week I ended up having 2 because I just had so much to do, but I don't think I'll need 2 this week, so I'm just going to say 1. But again, if I don't get everything that's on the list done that week, then I will, you know, add that in to have a second one. And then the afternoon routine thing is now finally going really well. That is my pending list. So I don't know if I want to like add anything else to that or not. And then we have like this alarm situation going on. Okay, so what do we have here? So like I said, and the pending list, which this is just like every day at 3 p.m. or so, I stop what I'm doing if I'm in the middle of something, or if I'm like done everything, and I just go take a quick look at my planner and I make a list of anything that was on my list for the day that like I haven't gotten done, or anything that I need to get done. And I do it on my phone, not in my, I do it in my planner sometimes, like some of it, but I also put it in Notion on my phone, and just like make note of whether it's something that absolutely has to be done that day or can be handled like later in the week. So if it's later in the week, I'll reschedule it for another day in my planner. And if it's something that has to be has to happen, I'll make sure I go and do it that night. And then it's just like helping me stay focused so that I can just put my phone down once I pick the kids up from school, and like not be focused on like what's going on with work, or what's like going on that I totally forgot to unload the dishwasher or whatever, you know, that was still on my list. So basically, that is what my pending list is, and that's been working super, super well. And this is eventually going to be the foundation for my afternoon routine. And I'm just not sure that I want to add to it yet. Because I just said my goal for the month was work to create a functional afternoon routine to end the workday and begin family time. And honestly, right now, just doing like this pending list thing is working super well, and I don't think I want to mess with it. I don't want to try and like add something else on top of it. My schedule has been like really very shuffly lately because of like all this stuff with school and work. So I think just doing the pending list, like, basically, if I'm working on something, I'll take a break from it to make this list, and then I can go back to what I'm working on. Before, I was like trying to stop working at a specific time, or stop what I was doing at a specific time, and that really wasn't working, but this pending list is. So I'm just gonna go with that. And then for the alarm, I don't know, I just need to force myself to get out of bed, and I don't know. I'm just gonna say, for this week, I'm gonna say for the weekdays, So I'm just gonna say wake up. I'm up. I like am awake by 6 every day, but just like wake up, like get out of bed by 6:30 5 times a week. Okay, that is everything for this video. So my camera did just cut out there at the very end while I was talking about forcing myself to wake up by 6:30, and by wake up I mean get out of bed instead of just laying in there staring at the ceiling. So hopefully that goes a little bit better this week. I know I just need to force myself to do it. But anyway, that is everything for my weekly tasks for the week. So I hope you enjoyed getting to see the process that I use to kind of break down my monthly goals into my weekly action items. And if you did, let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and check me out on Instagram at MyCraftyPlans to keep up with everything going on in all my planners. Bye.